All right, happy Monday, everybody. We're here again with another episode of EnigmaCast. Rooster is still doing his work, probably working nights. I haven't heard from him in a couple of days, but we brought back Jay, the talking head from
Straight from the bubble.
from the bubble, straight from the void, man, coming out of the void. All right, everybody, we got a good topic tonight. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about something that I have some strong opinions about it. We're going to talk about CERN, aka also known as the biggest waste of money on the planet, aka known as no practical applications to human beings whatsoever, aka satanic death cult meets a bunch of weirdos that are really good at math. Jay, what do you think about CERN?
I'm really curious. I'm really curious about the satanic death cult tie-in because, from what I understand, they're kind of shooting lasers at lasers to see what happens.
So we'll give people a quick rundown. Jay, you can pull it up on the internet, man. So CERN is
I know what it is. So it's in Switzerland. It's
in Geneva.
The latest thing that's been in the news is the Large Hadron Collider. They found a theoretical particle that a physicist had kind of theorized back in the 70s, and they've been trying to find it ever since.
Yeah.
Called the Higgs boson. It's supposed to be kind of the thing that ties quantum theory and gravity together, but kind of didn't. I don't think.
So
that is the literal 30,000 foot view of what they're doing.
It's buried underground. It's in Geneva, Switzerland. I'm going to debunk one thing real quick too. It's buried underground. It's in Geneva, Switzerland. I think it's 7 miles underground. I mean, the loop is a 7-mile loop underground. And Jay's right. They shoot some type of protons at each other, and they speed them up, and they slam into each other. And they were, quote unquote, looking for the Higgs boson particle, aka known as the God particle. And it only cost $10 billion to build, and it was only supposed to prove absolutely how the universe was right in the early hours when it was created, but people still die from diarrhea in South America. So good job. But at least they can die from diarrhea knowing that they think they may have found the Higgs boson particle and they have no idea what to do with it. But having said that, as you can tell, y'all, I'm a little biased. I think it's a waste, but I have my good reasons for it. But I do want to debunk one thing that I see that was going viral on the internet recently. And I want to throw that out there right now. All right, I'm going to go into some stuff here, but I also I believe in Bigfoot, and I believe in aliens, interdimensional, extra-dimensionals, demons, angels, God, Jesus, Satan. All that crap is real, right? I don't like people who fake Bigfoot encounters because one, I back that up. I look stupid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So there's nothing like a fake to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Like, come on, right? And so some people are trying to say that Satan's throne is in Geneva, Switzerland. It's not.
Okay.
It's absolutely not.
So where is it?
It's not. So it's based on. So there was a. I think it's in Revelations 9. You can probably type this up, Jay, and pull it up on the Google for us. But they talk about a saint being martyred in a city. I can't remember the name of Parnithium or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And in there it equates
I'm not sure what city.
Yeah, Parnithium is in Geneva, Switzerland. Parnithium was not in Geneva, Switzerland. It was in Asia Minor, probably somewhere in Greece, right, or whatever, whatnot. So right out the gates, I'm just going to debunk that right now and say that Satan's throne is not in Geneva, Switzerland. Literally, if you read Revelation 10, it'll tell you where the guy happened. So just you got to read the whole thing. Like somebody made a comment in our video or one of our shorts today where they were saying
Genevans will be relieved.
Yeah, exactly right. He made the comment in the video saying that you guys honestly believe that when the Bible says money is the root of all evil, and I had to correct him saying, well, the Bible doesn't say that. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. You can't cherry pick a phrase and then bend it around. And basically to upgrade that to the 2024 standard is greed is the root of all evil, right? It is, right? And so would you agree with that, Jay?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty close to the root, so right? it drives a lot of what makes people make bad decisions
Yeah.
to kind of go off the rails, right?
Yeah, so here's the thing too, man. Like before we jump into this topic, just one little thing. I'm fascinated, man, with history. You are, I know you are too, Jay.
Oh, absolutely.
But what gets me, man, is I look back on guys. I can't. This is where my mind, where I have like a little bit of disconnect with normal people. I can't understand greed. I've tried, right? Like I tried, right? For example, I look at certain guys, right, that like you'll never. I can't stand certain types of like illegal activities, right? But if somebody does certain activities illegally correctly, they make 10 million and you never hear from them again. They don't do it anymore and they leave, right?
Yeah,
so
the criminal who steals one time and then just like poofs,
gone,
right?
It's gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
the one big score guy.
Yeah, who was the guy, man, that jumped out of the airplane? What was that guy?
DB Cooper.
Yeah, DB Cooper. They still trying to find DB Cooper. It's gone.
Yeah, they're
man.
still trying to find his ass, and they have
but
no
what
idea.
I can't understand is a guy that will do a crime, walk off with like 50 million, but says he needs that other $500,000. Got to get that extra $500,000 in, right? 55.5 million and gets caught. Same thing like remember when Lance Armstrong finally got busted for drugs? It's not because he, if he hadn't ever unretired, right? They could have never tested his samples, man. He would have walked away. But no, I had to go back and do it again. So anyways, off my soapbox about greed. I don't understand it. On my soapbox now about
it. You know what's interesting? Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about it from a chemical perspective, right?
Right.
Dopamine is a reward. Greed feeds that dopamine hit, right? And so it eventually becomes an addictive kind of behavior, right? I've known wealthy people who it was just their kind of their goal to what was the number today, right? Yeah. How much did I move the number today?
Yes.
And that was kind of like that was the quote unquote game for them, right? Was how much was I able through whatever means I'm using to move that needle and get that little.
And bro, you triggered a memory in me, man, when you said that, because I read an article one time in GQ magazine that says that's why stockbrokers do so much cocaine, because cocaine gives them the exact same dopamine hit in their head when one of their stocks goes through. And that brings me back to Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. He got a slap on the wrist from the SEC, and all he had to do was keep his money and never trade a stock again. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, right?
How many people have you seen, go right back to the addictive behavior that it would like destroyed their lives?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, our brains are not prepared for some of the things that we've created. Yeah, no. Right?
So anyway, all right, now we're getting now we're really back on our topic here, right? All right.
Well, actually, I feel like it segues through pretty well, right? Yeah. Sometimes we're not ready for the things we've created.
Oh no,
right?
No. Now that is a good segue into what I'm about. That's on my notes on here to talk about that too, right? Is that so? I think CERN is equivalent to us creating the nuclear bomb when we didn't need to create that nuclear bomb. And I'm going to tell you why. And all you guys watching this, I will argue you until one of us passes out on this one. The United States of America did not need to create the nuclear bomb to win World War II. First of all, the Germans were already done. They had already done. Hitler had already fled to Argentina and was making his way down to New Schwabenland in Antarctica. That's a separate podcast. Look up Operation High Jump, right? And Admiral Byrd, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go straight in search of Hitler.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
But the Japanese were defeated already. Me and this guy right here, we have been all over the Indian Ocean, all over the Pacifics. We've actually been to the Saipan suicide cliffs. Saipan was the island that we had to take because that was the range we needed to get to fly our bombers over Japan to drop the bombs on. The Japanese were cooked. Their women were taking their kids and jumping off the cliffs in Saipan, right? Because the propaganda was we were going to bayonet them anyways. That's not what happened. The
We were going to
Japanese
eat
were
them.
defeated. You couldn't find it. You walk into a museum and look for a Japanese zero. There ain't none. They're all at the bottom of the Pacific and Indian Ocean somewhere. They're none. Their fleet was gone. The Battle of Leyte Gulf smoked their fleets, took out their last aircraft carriers, their battleships, right? But we, on the other hand, said that, you know what? The Japanese will never surrender. Okay, well, here's a little bit of naval history for you. They live on an island. They don't have to surrender. We can circle the island and we'll just, I hate to say it, we'll starve you to death. You understand? Right? Like, we don't have to. We already had Okinawa. We already taken Okinawa. That was the fight for Japan, was Okinawa, right? That was the fight, right? We never had to set a foot on the mainland, right? Never.
There's an argument amongst historians coming from that point of view, but then there's also the argument that the nature of the Japanese, they never would have surrendered.
Right. I believe that.
Had we not literally harnessed the power of the sun,
okay,
and dropped it on them.
Allow me to retort.
Right? Of course.
All right. You and I have years and years in Japan. You and I. We both know that Japanese school children are taught that Pearl Harbor was not a sneak attack, and that we let the United States know 24 hours before that we were going to attack them. And some people say, no, that's a lie. Well, then render me this. Why were all of our aircraft carriers gone? None of our aircraft carriers got hit, right? They were gone, right? So that's a whole conspiracy theory or whatever, whatnot. Sure. Okay. Give you the benefit of the doubt. It was a sneak attack or whatever, whatnot.
Pearl Harbor was an inside job.
Well, I'm saying, man, it did work out to get us in the war. It did work out. It did work out. We were selling to the Japanese. We were selling to the Germans. We were selling to the Brits. Yeah, man. We made a lot of money.
That was a horrible tactical error.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a horrible tactical error.
For sure.
We were isolationists before that. Like,
yeah,
we really didn't want anything to do with any of it.
No problem, right?
And yeah, and then the easiest way to get a bunch of hillbillies mad is to blow up some of their cool stuff, right?
Sucker punch us in the eye, right? And then
right, yeah, no.
Now it's a bar fight, right? Yeah, for sure.
Right, pretty much.
So so put that all aside. Okay, I'll even say that, you know what? Yeah, okay. Circling their islands and starving them out, not cutting off all international trade, making them forcing them through time to come to the table is off. Okay, sure. That's what I think would have happened. But here's what I poke holes in that. We dropped a nuke on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Why didn't we put that in Kyoto's backyard, right in the emperor's house? Boom. Why didn't we drop it right there? Or Tokyo, where the mass population was?
Because those were military targets, right? They were like shipyard, ammunition building facilities. True. My understanding. Now, like, I'm not an expert on World War II. I know the bare bones, but my understanding was that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were facilities where they were building like weapons and stuff.
Exactly.
That's why they were specifically targeted.
Yeah, for the troops that we had already killed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for like they were just gonna hand those out, right, to the 8-year-olds in the street. Here's why.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Like,
here's what I feel what happened, right? As we're Americans, right? And I'm gonna say something here that I think that carries weight. We dropped a nuke on Japan twice to teach them a lesson not to mess with the U.S. That's all that was. We wanted to blow a hole in their psyche. That was 100% payback for Hawaii.
You think?
100%.
You think it was 100%, the Chicago way?
Yeah, man, for sure. 100%, bro. 100%. That was a payback, man.
I cannot argue with that. I can definitely see that point of view for sure, right? Because my uncles fought in World War II and had stories and stuff, right? That's how I know World War II is from their like stories when I was a little kid, right? Because two of my uncles were there. One of them was specifically in the Pacific on aircraft carriers and stuff. Both of them were in the Navy. So like, I could definitely see that point of view because of the point of view that they had, right? Having actually been there and fired weapons and stuff.
Yeah. So look, so people will say, how dare me and this dude we got more salt on us than half you guys put together. I'll criticize the U.S. Navy. We gave years to our country. I'll criticize it, military history or whatever, whatnot. We actually served, but I'm telling you, I know that's how I feel. But I also know too that you didn't want to. If you wanted to surrender, you better be surrendering to some Germans. You might have a chance. The Japanese aren't taking prisoners, so that's for sure.
No, they weren't.
No, so you might
there
as
was
well.
Some things that happened in China too that were kind of rough, right?
So I'm not saying that reputation wasn't well earned. These dudes were savage, right? They were not to be taken lightly, right? And so the Philippine atrocities and all that stuff. But that's just me. That's ancient history. That's in the back. But then when I look at and here I'm going to take this one step like a little bit further into the conversation too. One step further when I go into it as well, is that we created those nukes, right? This is how I know that we only did it just to punish the Japanese, because the moment the Russians violated the Warsaw Pact and didn't give that land back, we let them build a wall right down the middle of Germany. We didn't drop no bombs on Stalingrad saying, hey, you know what, you want to think about that again, right? They didn't have nukes yet. They'd only been invented like 8 months.
I gotta be honest, man. I think that they tested those bombs, right? I think probably everybody but me has seen Oppenheimer by now, right? But I know the story well enough to know, right?
Is that Los Alamos, right?
They tested it. Yeah, I mean, they tested those bombs. I feel like it was a pretty accelerated schedule. Once they knew they were working,
right?
They kind of just they dropped one and said, "Oh yeah, okay, this works," and then they flew the other two out.
Yeah,
right. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, in all honesty, I don't know that they understood the impact of their actions until after they had done it, and I don't know that anybody, aside from sociopath, really wants anyone to ever set off a nuclear bomb ever again. Right?
Yeah, no way.
For real. No. Like, nobody wants it to happen.
We've actually been to Nagasaki, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
So like we've seen it, right? And I'll tell you what, man, like that bomb, this is sad. Look, war is ugly. I think it was Jocko. I think his last name is Wilkins or whatever. He was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And he said a quote the other day, and it like hit me hard, man. And he said that but before you make the decision to go to war, you need to know in stone, kids are going to die, women are going to die, old people are going to die, innocent people are going to die, right? And so in Nagasaki, when that bomb went off, it was so hot. They still have them there. It turned people into shadows, right? Like it scorched them to the pavement, and there was nothing there except they're literally a black outline, right? It's horrible, right? It's terrible to look at. So I agree with you, man. Nobody in their right mind would ever.
Yeah, no.
Whatever, like
nobody wants that.
Yeah,
no, nobody wants that. And I think that even like the Russians. You have to, I don't know there's a cultural thing there, but like they had to build the biggest one. Right?
Yeah, right.
And then what? What are you going to do with that, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you going to drop that thing? Because as soon as you drop it, the rest of you're screwing everyone and yourself too.
We're all dead.
Right? So, right? So like, there's enough nuclear weapons to explode the Earth, 16 or 17 times. It's all a smoke show. There's no real. I would shudder to think that we could elect a politician anywhere that had the will to drop a nuclear weapon on someone.
And look, man, I'm all for it. Let's go back to killing ourselves with sharp sticks and foul language, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
you know me.
The old way.
You know me. I'd rather go back to swords. Like,
exactly. Right, yeah.
Get rid of the guns. If you carry a sword, and if you really want to take somebody out that bad, you got to face it. You know,
how bad
have some skill or whatever.
Yeah. How bad do you want it, man?
Or get real lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, get your cardio.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's the same way I feel, man. Like making nuclear weapons, man, benefited nothing but society. And also, too, funnily enough, that's right when the UFO sightings and all that started going up. People will say it, I won't go down that Ryan, but I think it is what I think they're trying to do in CERN. It ripped open
What
a
are they
fabric.
trying to do?
It ripped up a fabric, and it was able
Yeah.
to open up dimensional portals. So,
well, you know that there's some people that think that the 2012 functioning of the Large Hadron Collider
yeah,
caused a fracture, right?
yeah, and then
And the Mandela effect is us kind of like
yeah.
coming back together, I guess.
Have you seen
I just found that today. It was interesting.
Have you seen some of these examples of the Mandela effect, like the actual changes?
I have. It's fascinating to me because some of the things that are on there are definitely things that I remember, like the cornucopia thing. I would swear to my grave. I was growing up as a kid. I had Fruit of the Loom underwear.
Yeah,
that was what my mom bought.
Every kid in the South had Fruit of the Loom underwear, bro. Every kid in the South had Fruit of the Loom underwear.
That's funny. Yeah.
You know why? Because you got them at Kmart, man.
That's right, Kmart. Exactly. Yeah, because it was Kmart. Yeah. And we was poor.
And we was poor, man. Put them on layaway, bro. Hey, look! If you hit that subscribe button, if you've ever had underwear put on layaway at Kmart like we did when we were kids, man. Don't act bougie, dog. Don't act bougie, bro.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. I haven't thought about layaway in forever. Yeah, that's crazy. I would swear that it had a cornucopia when I was growing up.
Right.
Like, there was one of the other ones too that the Berenstain Bears one is like, my mom read those books to me when I was a kid. I could swear there was an E there.
Bro.
Berenstain Bears.
Same way with Darth Vader telling Luke, right? I am your father.
I am your father.
Yeah. Well,
right.
And now that's the one that's got me, man. And then there's this one going around now where supposedly you can't find a copy of the old movie Shazam with Sinbad in it. But people it existed, and then some people are finally finding these old dusty up tapes. He says he never made the movie.
That was what got me about it.
I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I saw that, but it sucked. I saw that movie.
I saw that movie. It sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I do know that it existed though. Like, to me, it existed. He says he never did it. I read that article where he said, I never did that movie. And I'm like, I remember you doing that movie. It was straight to video or something.
Straight to VHS, man. He says it was Shaq and it was called Kazam. No, you're in it, and it was called Shazam, right?
Shazam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, anyway. So you're ready for me to go into why CERN's a death cult?
Do it.
All right, here you go. Right. Number one, $10 billion to better humanity, and you can't name me one thing that CERN has ever done to help humanity, and it's been around at least since 2012, right? Not one thing, right?
Okay.
So is it lowered energy prices? Have we healed anything with it? You found the Higgs boson. Yay!
Yeah. Right? Okay.
Nothing outside of this $10 billion facility that's funded by all these nations. There happens to be a statue of who? Shiva the Destroyer, standing in a portal, right? Right?
Uh-huh.
So everybody, if you don't know who Shiva the Destroyer is, you can type it up. It's a Hindu god. Literally, Shiva is known as the Destroyer in Hindu, right? That's the destruction god, right? Standing into a portal. But hey, you know what? I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Who wouldn't want to make a $10 billion piece of equipment that's going to better humanity and put a god of death in front of it? Who wouldn't want to do that, right? What could go wrong, right? Then in August 2016, people are filmed outside of the Hadron Collider in front of this statue of Shiva, a bunch of white people, by the way, performing a satanic sacrifice of a girl laying on the ground. And when they got caught, they said, what? Oh, it was just for the laws. We just wanted to laugh it up. All this is on Google. You can look this up and come back to me all you want. So yeah, okay, that's not weird. I mean, I know several, we used to live near Johns Hopkins University, Jay, where they do all that research. what was it? Every other Thursday was a satanic Bohemian Grove-like fake ritual of, sacrificing somebody in front of it.
I knew it was coming. I knew the Bohemian Grove was coming out eventually.
So what was
that's where I knew it was coming. Okay, keep going.
So who wouldn't want to who wouldn't want to feel safe with that? Yeah, it's only satanic practices, but hey, you know what? To each their own. Some people pray to tomatoes, man. Do your thing, right? So sure, no worries.
That's true.
But then you want to lead over here too, right? You want to say that, okay, why does this people in CERN have a fascination with this angel called Apollyon the Destroyer? If those of you who might not know who Apollyon is, he has several names. I'm butchering that name in Hebrew, but he's basically the angel in Revelations that God unlocks the pit. He comes out with all these locusts that look like tiger heads that sting you or whatever to torment the unbelievers. Why do some people say that CERN was built supposedly right where that portal is believed to be? That's just a coincidence, Jay. I'm just saying, like that's just a coincidence. Like,
all right. So
last one, and then I'm going to yield the floor to you, my man.
Sure.
So why does the CERN logo have 3 6s wound in it like that, right? To go around it. I mean, not 369 like Tesla would say, but it's basically they take a 6, twist it, 6, twist it, 6, twist it, spin it around. Maybe that's just a coincidence too, right? I don't know, man. Like I know you shoot yourself in the foot one time, you call it an accident. You shoot yourself in the foot the second time, you call it a pattern. You shoot yourself in the foot the third time, yeah, you're doing it on purpose. Right. Right. So yeah. So there you go.
I get it.
I yield to you, my friend.
I'm looking at the the logo. Pretty sure that is a map of what it actually the two particle accelerator things look like. Pretty sure that's a map.
Okay, I'll give you that one. So I'll give you the benefit. Okay. You know what? I'm going to be uber flexible. Right?
Benefit of the doubt, right?
Benefit of the doubt.
So the other one, I can definitely explain. So that was what Oppenheimer quoted, right? When he had a piece of Hindu scripture, right? Was now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. That's what Oppenheimer said when he invented the nuclear bomb, right? So I see the tie-in there, right? Because it's particle physics, and they're doing kind of the same sort of stuff. Yeah, but it was a gift from India. India actually gave them the statue in the 1960s.
Okay. Well, so I'll tell you what, man. So I got your address. I'm going to send you a Baphomet. I'm going to send you a Baphomet for your front yard, right?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna put the Baphomet in my front yard for sure. No, I get what you're saying. Like,
put that in your nursery.
There's implications there, but I feel like that it's kind of appropriate because it's a reminder that the things that you're doing are have potential to be very destructive, right? Like the physics that they're uncovering there, I feel like it's necessary simply because I want off this freaking planet at some point, right? You know me long enough to know that my greatest desire is to have my own spaceship. I do not want to be here anymore, right? Bro, I want the choice to leave.
Pause that thought, man. Pause that thought, and I'm going to give you some information. Sure. You know what my wife did to me? So,
oh no!
So to add up, you man. So we were doing this long road trip or whatever, man. And any guys that are watching this, man, let me know if you have to deal with this nonsense too, right? So we're driving. I didn't want to talk, man. We're literally going to Florida, man. I got like 10 hours ahead of me, right? And she's over there. My little car helper is in the truck, right? Just chatterboxing 100 miles an hour, right? And she was like, "So, if you could have one thing, what would it be? You can have anything, right?" And man, I was like. And you know what, man? I would dig like a fully working Millennium Falcon, right? That's what I said.
Fuck yeah, right?
Right? What dude would not want the Falcon? She looks at me and she goes, "Can you be serious? That's stupid." I said, "You just told me. You just told me whatever I wanted."
Me what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Shut up.
I got this wish.
Don't talk to me until we're out of Georgia. Yeah. Don't talk to me until we're in Georgia, man. Shut up. Yeah, man. So go ahead, Jay, man. Tell your story on that.
So yeah, I mean, I see that there's so much interesting things on the horizon, right? So like superconductors, fusion, particle physics is a part of all of that, right? Like the fusion reactor will change the world for the better if done the right way,
Right.
right? It's not going to do it right away, right? Like just like cell phones, everybody's got there's more mobile phones now than there are toilets. Okay.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So everyone to varying degrees has access to information that their ancestors never, like not even their ancestors,
Mhm.
their grandparents never had access to any of that.
Yeah,
Right.
and so
The ability to chit chat with somebody in England in real time.
add this to your brain bucket too, man. To add something to that. Somebody said something the other day, man, and it made me like I scoffed at it at first, and I'm like, damn, man, that was some truth bomb that dude just dropped, man. Have you ever had a dream of a cell phone? Ever had a dream where you're on your cell phone?
I'm a bad example because I don't remember most of my dreams,
Bro,
but
man,
no, not to my knowledge.
I've never had a dream where I'm on my cell phone or messing with my cell phone or doing anything like that ever. And a lot of people are saying they've never had that dream either, man. So weird. Anyways, weird.
That's interesting. I would really be curious to see if anybody did.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
Good.
So
interesting. But in our childhood, right? A bag phone was the top of the line, bro.
Yeah.
Like I remember when my dad got a company phone, and it was like this giant briefcase that he carried around with him and put it in the car, right? So that he could, because he was a field guy, right? So he was everywhere. But this was what, late 80s?
Remember the Don Johnson?
Just this giant thing, right?
The Don Johnson phone, the Miami Vice phone?
Oh yeah, man. The brick, the gray brick.
It's a great brick
with the antenna. I never had a gray brick. I was too young for the gray brick. I had what was my first one? Was the StarTAC, I think. I don't even remember.
In Japan, I got one in Japan. I got a Motorola in Japan.
I had the little tiny phone in Japan.
Yeah.
The little NTT Docomo thing that looked like a keychain.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I press the buttons on this?
Yeah,
Look at these meat hands, dude. There's no way I can. I was like, this is not made for people like me with sausage fingers. It's not going to work. Not happening. So I would answer it, and that was about all I could do with that thing. And then I left it in a cab somewhere right before I left. So, bye. Anyway, yeah, we're way off topic. No, I think that
we added sauce to the
money
mix,
well spent. We added
sauce to the mix. That's all.
Yeah, right. I think it's money. What gets me is it just takes so long for them to build things like this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like hopefully in the not too distant future we'll get better at it and make it faster.
I know why.
Why?
Because look, man, you people watch.
They have to line the place in blood so that the sacrifice.
I didn't think about that. Well, you know something about
oh my God!
No, look,
you gotta get the blood pipes running.
Hard to find virgins over there, I guess. I don't know what's going on in Geneva. So the thing about it is, I know why it takes so long, right? Is because there's if anybody's watching this video, man, and you're like, you've wasted $200,000 on your gender studies degree and you can't make any money, just become a theoretical physicist, because all you have to do is sit around and think up the dumbest stuff possible and then spend the rest of your life trying to play with the math to make it work, right? That's it. So the reason why it takes so long is because all these soft hand dudes would actually have to go and freaking like do like a job, right? Like, so here's my problem. Here's my problem with theoretical physicists, right? Are you ready? So let's play a thought exercise. And everybody that's watching this, everybody's watching this as well, all right? Okay. You're a team lead. I'm a team lead. You're in North America. I'm in South America. A catastrophic event has happened, and it's up to us, you and me, to, you know what? We have got to start rebuilding societies, right? We're able to communicate with each other, We got to start from ground zero, right? But we can only take two other people with us, right? Two other professions, right? So, and I have to pick,
rebuild
right?
society.
Yeah, so we got to rebuild society, right? So you mean to tell me that you got a guy that's done construction for 20 years and a farmer that's done all of his life, fourth generation farmer, and a theoretical physicist. You got to keep two and kill one. Who are you smoking? The physicist.
All I got to say is thank God we don't have to make that choice anymore.
Exactly. They're good for nothing, man. Hey, look, bro, if we're locked in a building, man, and something's going down and you're ready to roll, hey, man, any Navy SEALs on? No. But we got 5 physicists in the back.
I got a counterpoint for you.
All right, come on, bring me the counterpoint.
Sports announcers, the guy who's telling you what's going on the game that you're watching on TV.
Just as useless. Joe Buck is gone.
You're right. Like,
gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
I mean, I got to admit, I'm not a sports fan, but it seems redundant to me. I'm watching the game, and if I'm a fan, I understand what's happening. But he's explaining to me,
bro,
what's happening.
I'll even do you one. I'll even do you one better, man. Since we're throwing shade at so many people, man. Since when are people professional fantasy football shows?
Consultants.
Consultants, right? Like, hey,
that's
BJ Cookie Doo is going to go for 40 yards. Oh, that's going to get you 15 points.
I'll bet you $10 that if you go on Fiverr, you can find a fantasy football league consultant.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
100%.
I love it.
100%.
I love it.
100%.
I love that job exists.
Not making my
rebuild. It means that we're one step farther out of the cave.
I will say this though. We're open to all type of criticisms. And I will poo-poo just about anybody, right? But I actually do give credit to people who can make a living and make a good living doing out-of-the-box stuff without hurting people. Like if you're making $500,000 a year on fantasy football, man, good on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember when Twitch first started?
Yeah.
Twitch TV, they had those gamers on there, whatever, whatnot, and then they started getting like really big, right? And so people were saying I don't get this. I'm thinking, man, nah, bro, that's genius. I thought that was genius, right? There's a
market for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. They're not hurting anybody, right?
And I think that's where it lands for me, right? Yeah. If you're what's funny is I saw there's a controversy now about Twitch and where it falls in the spectrum of pornography, right? Because there's having a lot of gamer girls getting on there in a bikini doing hot tub play sessions and stuff. It depends on where you're marketing it for, right? So there's an argument on one side that this is marketed to kids 13 and up, and that's towing the line of mature content. And then the other side says, yeah, but can you are they blocked from Pornhub?
Yeah.
Right?
So here's the thing, man. I'm gonna defend that. But I'm not going to condone it. I'm not. So here's the line I'm going to take on that. I'm not going to condone it. I'm not going to condemn it. But I will say this is that they're not hurting anybody, right? And so it's not like
no. By and large, the Twitch community as a whole, it is just entertainment and it is awesome.
So they're not hurting anybody.
Right.
Exactly. These guys, trust me, at 8 years old, your kids have seen it. They've seen it, right?
Well,
so unless you're
goddamn, man.
Unless you're a better parent than we were.
Yeah.
My boys have seen it, man. I looked at my son's Google history when he was 12, and it was literally girls with big boobs. He had to put big in there twice. Big boobs. Big boobs, right? So I was like, all right, man. So yeah, man. So yeah, man. I see the danger in that, but I also see that, you know what, they're doing the things. I have a problem with the simp community though. I have a problem with that. I do think
Oh
that.
no, here we go. We're gonna attack it. We're gonna punch down now, right?
No. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna punch down, man. In fact, look, I tell this to a lot of people. If you're looking for two guys to hang out with, three guys, me, Jay, and Rooster, come hang out with us. IMS up, man. We're learning this YouTube stuff. Come kick it with us, man. I talked to plenty of guys. Remember John? I'm not gonna say his last name.
Yeah.
He was in the building.
Yeah,
I took that kid under my wing, man. You couldn't have been a bigger simp than that kid, right?
Right.
I'll tell you his name after the podcast. I see you're
going. No, I know who you're talking about.
And I took that kid weighed 80 pounds wet, right? And so I took him under my wing, man, and like he and I would take him to lunch with me and everything else like that. So I just don't like the simp community, man, because I think it's destroying the confidence of younger men in difficult times of their lives where they're trying to figure themselves out, right? Where they're trying to like go through that awkward stage. A boy's mind does not mature as fast as a girl, and it goes from the back to the front. The prefrontal lobe doesn't fully develop until you're 25. So the boys at 18 are literally almost chemically insane, right? That's why we're jumping BMX bikes off,
right.
off
That's why
of
they
like,
do stupid shit like
stupid
parkour,
stuff,
right? Absolutely.
And so I think the simp culture, man, destroys the confidence that a young man needs. Jay, when I was in the Navy at 17. When'd you go?
20.
Yeah, they could hit us.
19.
Yeah, that's back when they would beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like
right. Yeah.
The Caesar Milan mentality got made you grow up. I think these guys are missing it, man. And I think that when they try to chase that or emulate that, man, I think it hurts them. That's just my opinion.
I think that. So, yeah, no, it definitely scares me right now, right? Like,
oh yeah, man, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm in a situation where I've got two young men who, luckily, having very carefully crafted the situation that I'm in, and taken residence in the bubble, I have protected them from a lot of the kind of craziness that has gone on in the world lately, right? We're in a place where these kind of arguments are remote.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, It's not stuff that we see a lot of here, which is weird, and hence the reason why I live here in the bubble.
Mm-hmm. In the void.
Yeah, right. No, I don't envy any young man trying to find someone today.
Yeah.
It's both easier and harder than it's ever been, right? Mm-hmm. Because on one side, you have some young women with some really, really, truly unrealistic expectations, right? And I think that they're probably, in my mind, the probabilities says that they're in the vocal minority, right? But it flavors everything, right? Mm-hmm. And so these kids are coming up with way more access to way more information and way more people's opinions and views and actions than we ever had any kind of like concept of, dude. Yeah. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was 14, I barely knew what was going on in the next town, let alone the next state or in freaking China, right?
You didn't care.
Like, well, not only did I not care, but it wasn't even that I didn't care. It wasn't in my sphere of knowledge or kind of. Yeah.
Definitely,
I never encountered it.
Not in your orbit for sure.
Absolutely not, right? And so these kids now, they have all that stuff kind of floating around in their orbit, and I think it's too much. Yeah. I think it's information overload, but I also think we'll kind of figure it out because we always kind of do.
I do, man.
Right?
Like I say, man, I actually have a fairly optimistic outlook that I think it's going to correct itself, man. So I mean, like I said,
if you look at it, I mean, it's like a pendulum, right?
yeah, I will. I think it'll come back. I think it can. If not, man, I got my boys both have passports. Yeah, man. I mean, like,
Right.
pick a country, man. You know what I'm saying?
Retreating back to the South America or East Asia.
And don't say Thailand. All right, my passport's revoked. From
No, I didn't. I was asking. I was general East Asia, or are you headed to
that's
South
what I told
America?
them. So yeah, so that's the thing. But anyway, so now that there's a conversation with that. So Jay, to prove my point, how is the CERN Hadron Collider going to help our boys and these girls figure it out, man?
Oh, it's not. Absolutely not. Zero. But it will help us eventually get off the planet, and it probably will help us with the energy crisis. Already kind of has to a certain degree. A lot of the things that we learn about, like the way particles behave when they're under duress and moving at really, really, really fast speeds, right? Those are the things we need to learn in order to get off the planet, right? Because rocket ain't going to get us to the next star.
Fossil fuels ain't gonna cut it, man. That's for sure.
Nope.
Man. So, all right, so in closing, I got a couple fun questions for you. Are you ready?
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
Hit me.
So we both agree that CERN sucks. Thank you.
Sure, of course.
No, I'm joking. 50-50. You guys can make your own. So you heard Jay's valid points. You've heard mine. That Jay says they're good for humanity, and he's probably right. But I'm also telling you they're a satanic death cult, and don't go there on Thursdays because they're praying to an owl in the parking lot, and they might.
The meatloaf is not good.
They might do you. They might do it. All right, so are you ready? Your version of space travel. You can only pick one. All right.
Sure. Okay.
Star Wars or Firefly? Oof. It's a tough one, right?
Right.
It's a tough one, bro. And also the universe.
Well, I mean,
the universe aspect.
So if we're just talking about the travel, kind of like, I'm definitely down with Star Wars because they go everywhere really fast. So like,
Firefly. So so Firefly also has like the Wild Wild West theme to it, right? Like the gunslinger, right?
Right, but if we're just talking about like propulsion, right?
Yeah. So
they're trapped in a system.
Yeah.
They're Star Wars is all over the galaxy.
The other thing too, man, made me think about that Star Wars analogy too. Do you ever think that sometimes that, you know, if you ever look on the map where supposedly they say we are, man, we're totally like an outer rim planet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. We haven't gotten into the aliens thing.
Yeah. So yeah,
there could be aliens. I think that we're just not interesting enough.
Yeah,
for anybody to give a shit about.
We're just not on. It could be that we're like a mining colony, not near the inner core or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
We're on the outer edge, right?
Yeah, we're a total.
We're not close.
Yeah, we're in the outer rim, man. They were like, there's nothing out here except good-looking conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, right. We're a zoo, I think. In all honesty, we're reality TV, I think.
Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe. So the second thing is, right? All right, so that's the propulsion you went with the Star Wars. I think the same thing with me, man. Like I would probably want to be Star Wars based travel as well, just because of, you know, the speed of it, and you know, like they never really had like, you know, more droids or whatnot, so to make life a little bit easier on that to come around and do it, right? All right, so the second one has to do also with the portal opens up, right? So say that CERN is in their room down there. They open up a portal. What do you think the portal is going to be? Remember that old sci-fi show Stargate or whatever?
Stargate, yeah, I love that show.
It was great, right? Is it going to be type of portal, or are we just open up 2 million hellhounds come rushing out of that bad boy, man, and we just cracked open here's a good example. Is it Stargate World or is it Doom? Remember that video game Doom? Is it Doom?
Is it interdimensional or is it interspatial?
Yeah.
Right.
Which one do you think it is?
We're going to another fixed point in like the universe. I'm gonna say interspatial, right? Where it's Stargate and it opens up a portal to some other place in space-time where it entangled itself to or something.
I'm
right?
going opposite direct, totally
You're
doomed.
going to Portal of Hell, right?
Portal of
You're
hell,
going
man.
to
We just opened up some. We opened. They got to send Marines down there to close these things.
tentacles start coming out and like
like a giant squid arm shoots out. She just
right?
pins the person to the wall over there, right? Saying that hit the button, hit the button. They can't cut the button off.
Turn it off.
Yeah, or it's like that Stranger Things. I actually like that show, Stranger Things, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a great show.
Is it the Upside Down?
It's the Upside Down, yeah. Yeah. The Negaverse. Yeah, no, I mean, and that's, that, so yeah, I mean, think about that for a minute, right? It creates a little antimatter pocket and it flips things and you don't, not a portal, but like a globe of space-time that changes.
Yeah, just pop
That'd
open,
be cool.
right? And then we would totally be cooked in there. No, that was a
yeah.
But yeah, man. So those are the two things that I would have to think down there. What I would want to do. So
we're gonna have to wait for that because they're building one in the United States called the Large Hadron Collider.
Oh, really? Oh,
and that's probably where the Hellgate will open.
Where's it at?
The Hellgate's got to open in the United States, man. It can't open in Switzerland.
It's got to be Chicago.
Right? Chicago. Exactly.
Chicago. Or if it's now South
Kansas.
Where's it, in Kansas?
Kansas, I think, is where the Hellgate is, right? I don't know.
Why do we need to?
I don't know.
Why do we need to? What are we doing?
Well, when have we ever been satisfied with one?
Yeah, why would we need to? We can't even make this other one work. And before we go here, you know what bothers me about these people? I'm going to refer to them as these people. You know what bothers me about these people, right? It's like, so look, I actually do think that most people, man, are inherently good people. I actually do believe that, right? I do think that if that 9 out of 10 times, man, if you're broke down on the side of the road,
I've never seen a mean baby.
Huh?
I've never seen a mean baby.
Exactly, man. Yeah, for sure, right?
Right.
People will tend to do the good. Now you get the broken people out there eventually in life, man, and you just win the lottery and you come across that sociopath, man, okay, or whatnot. So I'm not saying that these weirdos that are really good at math are not good people, but what I would say is that why can we all come together and just fix one broken thing, right? Don't try to.
Oh, dude,
don't try to make a portal to space time. Hey, let's just fix one other thing first, right? Like just one other thing, and then let's just work our way up, right, to go and do it, right?
So like the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, just one thing, man. Yeah.
Just like have just a constant Manhattan Project.
Yeah, just get one, right? Just get one thing, right?
Yeah.
And so honestly, man, so in our lifetimes, right? In our lifetimes, cell phones don't count, right? Name one thing that was name one scientific breakthrough that like blew your mind. Because before us, man, they invented X-rays. Madame Curie, she killed herself, but they invented X-ray machines and the sonograms.
Something that blew my mind.
Yeah, something that just blew your mind in your lifetime. Like, dang, like that's amazing, right?
3D printing to me is pretty amazing.
Okay, that's not bad, right? Like the things you can do with 3D printing is actually pretty cool, right? So okay.
It's something, I mean, first person, like I have experience with it, something I do. So like, yeah, that's something that amazes me because I've seen it grow, right? So
Fair.
like, in kind of my thoughts on the future would be like, that could really help a lot of people, right? If you can print out a part that you need for your air conditioning and your family has heat for the night because of the thing that you have in your house that you hit the button and it shoots out a piece of plastic or whatever.
Practical application. In fact, the $10 billion they spent building this, we could have put a 3D printer in everybody's home, right? And like actually got more use out of it. So here's mine, right? It's the only time it's ever came close. And in typical United States wet blanket fashion, we killed it, right?
Okay.
Stem cells. We drove stem cell research out of our country. You can go down to Bogota, Colombia, with missing knee ligaments, and leave with new ligaments growing in your leg in like 2 days via IV, right? And these aren't embryo. They're not from terrible things that happen.
Yeah, no, these are. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that one, right?
Arthritis.
Having a condition that could directly benefit from it, right?
Exactly. take away arthritis in elderly people or whatever. No, of course not. No, and look, I'm a religious dude. It ain't the devil, y'all. All right, it's not the devil.
Right.
It's the devil. No, it's not. All right, it's not.
You could look at it the other way of it's a natural way of your body healing itself. You're just aiding your own God-given mechanism, right?
And you have to leave this country to go to a third world country to get that treatment. Cheaper than you would here.
Cheaper.
Those doctors down there.
And here's the other thing. Why don't the insurance companies cover it? Because it's almost preventive medicine, right?
Exactly.
If you have a torn ligament and you're growing the ligament back, I feel like that's going to be a much less painful and long-term solution than putting some kind of plastic knee replacement.
Oh, see, hold on, Jay. Hold on. See, this is you again making too much sense. Now, what am I going to do with this 10-gallon bottle of vodka of Vicodin over here? Right, like that comes with the new knee. Right.
We have to get rid of all the fentanyl we have. Right, it's got to go somewhere.
It's got to. So look, man. So once CERN produces something like that, then the Higgs boson. Okay,
so when the first fusion reactor comes online,
I'll even lower this bar so low. Right? I will lower this bar so low, man, and we'll do a special broadcast, and I'll say, yay, the CERN Hadron Collider finally did it, man.
Okay.
Make a light bulb that never goes out, right?
Right.
Lower it. You don't have to open a portal. You don't have to tell me that. Hey, did you know that? Portal.
I mean, I feel like we need a shakeup of some sort going on. Because all kind of craziness going on.
So you don't have to show me. Hey, did you know at 3 milliseconds after the Big Bang Theory that everything was super hot? Yeah, man. Again, people are dying from diarrhea. You understand? So that's nothing to me. So I'll lower the. Give me something. Just give me a win, man. Give me one win like that. And I'll give it to you, man. But until then, CERN gets the double thumbs down, brother. The double thumbs down, brother. All right. Well, if you stuck around this long, then you're all kind of nerds. So do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Two coolest guys you'll probably never physically meet, but like I said, you can hang out with us virtually all you want, right? Leave a comment. Team J, Team Joe, Team Satan, basically, and Team, Mr. Nice Guy over here, whatever.
Yeah.
Leave a comment in there. Let us know what you think. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 subs. We're really close. I think we only got about 50 more to go, and then we'll move on from there. But as always, it was good hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Jay, walk us out. Boom.
All right. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay safe. That's the best you got for me, brother?
That's the best I got.
The best I got, man. Hey, watch out for them. Watch out for them coyotes.
My brain is empty now.
All right, man. Later, dude.
All right, I'll catch you later. Yeah, see you.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.